'Cause we're gonna be legends, gonna get their attention.
What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Saffel, back again with another video, and today I'm here with my WWE TLC Tables, Ladders and Chairs 2017 review. And going into this pay-per-view with the sudden changes of the two main events, I guess, got me really excited for the show. And overall, it did deliver with some of the matches, but with some other ones, they were either or like, what the fuck? Like, there were, matches that were like, yeah, that was a match, cool. And then there were others where it's like, what the fuck did I just see? Like, it just made no sense. But it was a very strange pay-per-view. But it wasn't all bad, though. Like, it was good. A lot of it was really, really good. But, you know what? Let's just get into this review, man. Let's not muck around. So, pre-show match. Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox. I believe Sasha did pick up the win. So, yeah, that happened. So, congrats, Sasha. Just, I don't care. I don't fucking care about this match. Yeah, there was a reason why it was on the pre-show. So, yeah, there you go. So, the opening match was Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, making her debut against Emma. And I liked it. I thought it was a good debut for her. But it was weird. It was a back and forth match. It was competitive. Which, if it was any other environment, I would have been fine with. But this is Asuka's debut. Like, I know they were trying to make Emma look good in this match. Which, you know, if that's what they were going for, then that's cool, I suppose. But she's been, like, jobbing out, like, the last few months on Raw, and now you're giving her a decent back-and-forth match against Asuka. Like, of all people to give her a decent back-and-forth match with, it's her. Like, I don't know, I thought that was very strange, but Asuka did end up getting the win after locking in the Asuka lock, and yeah, it was a good match, even though I felt like it should have been more of a squash match for Asuka. It would have made more sense to her character, but you know what, it's great to see her on the main roster. I'm praying that they don't fuck her up or just make her boring and plain like every other woman, it seems like, on the main roster, which is very unfortunate. She has a lot of potential to be something huge on Monday Night Raw, and I think it's not going to take long until she wins the Raw Women's title, I reckon. Wouldn't be surprised if she goes into WrestleMania as champion, but we'll have to wait and see when that takes place. We head backstage to see The Miz with his teammates for the main event later tonight, and he says that Kurt Angle stole the spotlight from his team by putting himself in the match instead of Roman Reigns, and that he just wanted to wait for the perfect moment to come back against him, and that if he could have cancelled the match, but, you know, Kurt Angle had to play the superhero, and that if he wanted to play hero, he'd need a monster, and that's when Braun Strowman comes in. Braun says, yo, guys, stay out of my way as I trash Rollins, Ambrose, and Angle. And then Kane walks past and says, look, if anyone is going to destroy the opponents, it's going to be me. So, Braun and Kane, a bit of tension growing between the two, which we'd see a bit of in the main event. I won't give away too much, but yeah, there was some tension there. And then Miz says after they destroy the opponents, they will run Monday Night Raw. So, yeah, cool. And we get the first of 3 Elias sing-along segments or whatever, and he was just doing his whole typical shtick of, like, he was trying to sing a song, whatever, and someone kept throwing vegetables at him, and it was Jason Jordan with this trolley throwing stuff at Elias, and this would happen like 3 times throughout the night until they would have a match later on. But it's like, it was so dumb. Like, is this how I'm supposed to get behind Jason Jordan? He threw produce at fucking Elias while he was performing. Like, it was dumb. It was dumb. I mean, further proof that the main roster can't write good baby faces. It's just more proof in the pudding right there, or whatever that fucking saying is. Cruiserweight tag team action up next, which was Gentleman Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick versus Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. And this was actually surprisingly really damn good. I actually enjoyed watching this match. There was Cedric hit a springboard clothesline, and Gallagher just sold that crazy. Like he did like a big flip when he sold it. It looked really cool. There was a Phoenix Splash out of nowhere by Rich Swann, which looked really, really cool. And Cedric's finisher, man. I loved Cedric Alexander's finisher, where it's like some like move where I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a backbreaker at the end, and they just like jump up and sell it fantastically. So Cedric gets the pinfall for his team, and man, I really hope we see Cedric Alexander get a shot at that cruiserweight title. I know Rich Swann's already won the title, so I think he'll be alright for not having a shot. Although if Rich Swann gets another shot at the cruiserweight title, I'm not going to complain. But Cedric Alexander is so fucking talented inside the ring, man, and just that finisher is just fantastic. And he looked really good in this match as well tonight. So yeah, I hope to see something in the future with Cedric Alexander. I feel like he has a lot of potential in the cruiserweight division, be something great, as he's been one of the standouts for me. So yeah, I hope to see something come to Cedric Alexander in the near future. Up next with the Raw Women's Championship, Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss. She was defending her championship, and the match was actually quite good. The build-up wasn't. The build-up hasn't been good. It's been a bit shit because it's all been, oh, Mickie, you're old and I'm not, so fuck you. Like that's your feud right there. There was a little slap standoff in the match and a nice little sunset bomb by Alexa. She misses the Twisted Bliss on Mickie James. Mickie then hits a really terrible drop kick from the top rope. But how it all ended, Alexa threw Mickie James into the corner, pretty much like threw her into the middle turnbuckle pad and rolled her up and got the win. So yeah, it was actually really good despite the really bad build-up towards this match. I thought Mickie James looked fantastic, and by that I mean inside the ring and by what she was wearing, because she's a beauty. For an old lady that Alexa keeps referring to her as, she looks pretty good. But where do I see Alexa going after this win? I'd have to say against Asuka. It has to be. Like, I don't see her facing anyone else. Unless they do a rematch with Mickie James, which I guess they could do, maybe on a Raw in the future, but this has to be building up to Alexa Bliss versus Asuka, surely. I know Survivor Series is coming up next month, and that's going to be based on the whole Raw versus SmackDown thing from last year. So I'm not exactly sure if we are going to see a Raw Women's title match. They'll probably do like a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match, but maybe on a Raw, Mickie James can have a rematch or something like that, or they start building it up even during Survivor Series, and then they have their match at the next Raw exclusive pay-per-view. So that's where I can kind of see things going for Alexa. But yeah, good match overall, and yeah, good stuff. Then we got a backstage segment with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins talking about the 5-on-3 match later on. Kurt Angle comes in and says, look, I feel bad that Roman's not going to be here tonight teaming up with you, but hey, I'm here, it's all good. And they give Kurt Angle the Shield vest, which was really awesome. And like Kurt looked really happy about it as well. Like, he has such an infectious smile, man. It's so good. I love Kurt Angle, man. After that was for the Cruiserweight Championship, Enzo Amore versus the champion Kalisto. Yeah, I had to remind myself because Kalisto said he wanted to win the Cruiserweight title, even though he was the Cruiserweight champion, but never mind about that. Enzo's voice was completely fucked when he was cutting this promo. I don't know what he was doing the night before, probably screaming his little guts out. And when he was cutting the promo, pretty much on Kalisto doing the typical SAWFT soft thing, all that stuff. And during the match, Kalisto went for like a middle rope dive, which looked good. And there was this kid wearing a Kalisto mask. And Kalisto had come over to him and say hello to him and all that. And this kid completely ignores Kalisto. Like, the fucking disrespect on that kid. Like, if I was a wrestler and I saw a kid wearing my shirt, I go up to him and say hello, and he just completely ignores me, I'm going to turn heel on the little fucker. I'm going to drag him out from the audience, give him a good pile drive. I don't care if he's 10 years old. You don't give me that disrespect. But getting back on track with the match, Enzo hit a nice little Babe Ruth kind of hit. He did like the batter swing thing before hitting him. He did a top rope jumping DDT, which looked good. How this ended was while the ref was not looking, he poked Kalisto in the eye, pinned him, and became the Cruiserweight Champion again. So yeah, great 2.5 week reign, Kalisto. It was. It's probably not going to be memorable, unfortunately. Not sure if Kalisto's going to wear it back, but this is what I predicted. I've been right in almost all my predictions so far. So yeah, they gave it to Enzo, I guess. As for the actual match itself, that's the best way I can describe it. It could have been much better. It felt like something was missing. There were definitely a lot of times throughout this match where I wasn't really that intrigued. But like they could have done a lot better in my opinion. As for where Enzo goes as Cruiserweight Champion, give him a match against Cedric Alexander. Make them put it on Raw, put it at the next Raw exclusive pay-per-view, like build it up. Actually, build up an Enzo Amore Cedric Alexander feud because I feel like that would be really awesome to see. I mean, the match they'd have would be really freaking awesome because Cedric Alexander, like I've said before, is talented as hell. And Enzo has been great as a heel, so I'm not exactly too mad that he's Cruiserweight Champion again. If that means he can roast the entire division, then that's fine by me. Afterwards, we get to Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. And man, with a match that had zero build-up, it was a match that just happened because shit, Bray Wyatt's off the card. What are we going to do? For what they did, it was really fucking great. So at the start of the match, we started off with Finn kind of kicking AJ off the top rope, senton over the ropes, calf crusher. So AJ did most of his moves on Finn, and then Finn like smacked AJ's head on the canvas to get out of the calf crusher. Then AJ and Finn get to the outside, and AJ just tackles him into the announce table, which was really cool. Finn hits his 1916, which I think is the name of the move, on AJ, which was pretty good. A springboard Hurricanrana AJ did on Finn Balor, which could have looked better because it was like he just called him. I thought he would like miss completely, but no. Ended up catching him with that. Balor hits the coup de grace on AJ and got the win. Now, don't get me wrong, this match was great. I really, really enjoyed it. The crowd definitely enjoyed it. They were going nuts the entire match, but I felt like I could have seen more from these two. I felt like what I feel is that we should see a rematch of this. Maybe at Survivor Series, like they have a Raw versus SmackDown match and we see a rematch between the two, because I think that would be freaking awesome to see. Because this match, like, they did a lot of cool spots. They did a lot of cool things in this match, but imagine a second match between these two. I want these two to go even crazier and to go even harder than they did in this match. But yeah, great match overall. Balor gets the win, and then right afterwards they do the two sweet to each other, which that was really awesome. The two Bullet Club leaders coming together, that was a really cool moment to see. So after that, Elias tries to perform again for the third time, but gets interrupted by Jason Jordan, your favorite babyface, and they have a match that I don't give a shit about. So Jordan rolls up Elias, and his shoulder wasn't on the mat, but Jordan still gets the win anyway, so I don't get what was behind that. So they'll probably mention it tomorrow on Raw. Elias would come out and said, I was never beaten and all that stuff. And then Jason Jordan saying, nah, fuck you, you were. They have a rematch, and then Elias properly beats Jason Jordan, maybe. I'm not sure. Then we get, Jesus Christ, this main event. 5-on-3 tables, ladders, and chairs match. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Kurt Angle versus The Miz, Braun Strowman, Sheamus and Cesaro, and Kane. This match was fucking chaotic. it was a chaotic mess. And I'm still not sure if that was a good thing or a bad thing, because I honestly don't know what to make of this match. It was wild. It was absolutely insane. Like not even like right off the bat, chairs were being thrown. There was outside dives. They were hitting people with ladders. Um, Rollins and Ambrose jumped off these two big fuck off ladders onto Strowman and Kane through separate announce tables, which was nuts. Kurt Angle gets wedged into the corner when Sheamus and Cesaro wedge a ladder in between the middle rope, and they super kick the ladder into Kurt Angle, so that looked really brutal to take. There was a running power slam through the table. Braun Strowman did to Kurt Angle, and then during this match, there was these moments, these long moments where the heel team would just destroy the other team with chairs and all that stuff, like continuously hitting them with chairs. And Kurt Angle, after he got put through the table by Braun Strowman, was like taken out to the back, and they pretty much just destroy the Shield for a little bit. And after that, Braun Strowman accidentally hits Kane with the chair, and a bit of dissension is caused between the two, which would escalate later on in the match. I think Braun Strowman tried to put Ambrose through the table, but it didn't break. So, yeah, poor table, I guess. And then Miz, he said this in the promo before the match that, oh, he's going to take out the trash and I'm going to put them all in a dumpster or whatever. So what do we see? We see a fucking dumpster come out because, hey, why not? Why not bring a dumpster out? Because, I don't know, fun thing to do. And so they fight around that area near the stage where the dumpster is. Ambrose and Rollins jump off the dumpster, which that was pretty cool. And then Kane just turns on Braun Strowman. He's fucking had enough with Braun on his team and chokeslams him through the stage where you go to walk to the announce table. Like, just completely chokeslams him through it. And if that wasn't enough, Kane sees the chairs hanging on the stage. Because you know how during the TLC pay-per-view they set up all the ladders and tables and chairs for the sets. He pulls a John Cena from 2010, pulls all the chairs down, and then they all just fall on Braun. So, yeah, Braun pretty much died at that moment. And then he chokeslams both members of the Shield through a table each. And they try to throw, I think, Ambrose and Rollins into the dumpster. But despite all that, Braun Strowman rises from the dead. And Kane just looks at him like, what the fuck, dude? He runs back out. And he tries to fight back. So he's pretty much out of the team at this point. And so the rest of the other team like kick the shit out of him. And then they throw him into the dumpster. They close the door and he leaves. So yeah, that was about it. And then after that, they continue to just dismantle the Shield and just 4-on-2 assault. And then Kurt Angle makes his surprise return after being killed by Braun Strowman. Yes, he's back. I wish he would have came out in the red, white, and blue straps, because that would have been pretty awesome to see. But I think they might be saving that for like a WrestleMania match down the line, so it can make it feel really special. And just Angle came in with a head of steam. He hits an angle slam on Cesaro through a table, which looked really cool. A double spear and then Ambrose and Rollins spear Kane through the barricade. Miz hits a skull-crushing finale on Kurt, but he kicks out, and then he gets rolled into the ankle lock. They hit a triple power bomb on the Miz, and the babyface team wins. So that was absolutely nuts. That was a crazy main event, and I'm still not sure if I like it or not. I feel like the spots in this match were really, really cool. There were a lot of great spots in this match. But now that I think about it, the pacing was really bad. Like, the pacing in this match was really, really bad, because they'll have these bits where they do so much crazy shit, like jumping off ladders, putting people through tables, skit shit happening constantly, and then they'll have these long breaks where it's just the heel team like hitting Ambrose and Rollins with chairs for like 5 to 10 minutes. And then they go back to, oh, let's do a bunch of crazy shit. And, you know, the pacing was very off in this match. So I think that's why it came off a little strange to me. But yeah, it had its ups and downs, this match. It had really high ups, but the downs weren't really that bad, but still. Pacing was off, the spots were cool, and yeah, the main event was fucking weird. That's the best way I can describe it. It was crazy and weird. So yeah. That's going to be it for this review. My match of the night will probably be Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. I thought this was very good, very competitive. It was nice to see these two finally wrestle on the main roster. I'm not sure if they've ever wrestled outside of WWE, but for a first time, this was really awesome, and I feel like they can do a lot more in the future. So, hoping for a rematch between these two, because that would be pretty fucking awesome. How I'm going to rate this show, let's give it 7.5. There were some really good matches on this show. The main event just left me scratching my head, because I wasn't sure if I liked the match or not. I still don't know if I did like it or not. But overall, decent pay-per-view. There was a lot of stuff for you to watch. Definitely check out Balor vs. Styles, and check out the Raw Women's title match, because that was pretty damn good as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this review. Hope you have enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what you thought of the TLC pay-per-view, and if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. You'll be glad you did. Twitter and Instagram's at JackamanLaw31 if you want to check me out there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out in 3, 2, 1.